Alright, welcome back to the AI Research Roundup. I am your host, Alex. Today we're looking at a fascinating paper from May 23, 2025, called ComfyMind. The core idea here is to tackle a big challenge with current open-source generative tools. They can be fragile and struggle with complex, real-world tasks. ComfyMind introduces a system built on the ComfyUI platform that uses two clever innovations. First, a Semantic Workflow Interface, which turns complex node graphs into simpler natural language functions. And second, a search tree planning mechanism, which lets the system plan its steps and correct itself along the way. So I mentioned this system is built on the ComfyUI platform. For those who aren't familiar, ComfyUI is a powerful, node-based interface for generative AI. Node-based just means you build a process visually, like a flowchart, by connecting different task blocks. And it's fantastic that the researchers have released the full ComfyMind implementation on GitHub, including setup instructions and even a Gradio demo to let you test it out. And this first figure gives us a great taste of what this system can actually do. It's a broad overview of ComfyMind's different generation and editing skills. We see everything from standard text to image tasks, like generating an astronaut on a horse, to more complex reasoning, like creating an image of light passing through a prism. But it goes further. You can see examples of merging images, removing objects from a scene, and even something called image outpainting, which is where it extends the New York City skyline. This range of capabilities really highlights the system's flexibility. So we've seen what ComfyMind can do, and this next figure really helps us understand how it does it by comparing its structure to a previous system called ComfyAgent. On the left, ComfyAgent has a more linear process. It plans a task, generates a static instruction file, and sends it to the platform. The key issue is it has no way to verify the result. But on the right, ComfyMind introduces a self-verifying loop. A planning agent works with an execution agent, which then gets checked by an evaluation agent. This creates local feedback, letting the system correct itself step by step. Okay, and this diagram really unpacks that self-correcting loop, showing us the search tree planning process. Think of it like the AI exploring a map of possible solutions. So for the task of creating an anime-style video, the system starts at a root node, node A, and tries one path. We can see several attempts like nodes C and D fail. But instead of giving up, the system gets that local feedback. Maybe the quality was too low, and it simply backtracks to try a different workflow. This continues until it finds a successful path, like node G, that meets all the requirements. So that whole search tree process we just saw, it sounds great in theory, but this table really shows us the payoff in practice. We're looking at results from the ComfyBench benchmark, which tests how well in AI can build a working process from scratch. The two key metrics are the pass rate, which is whether the system creates a workflow that can run, and the resolve rate, which is whether it actually succeeds at the task. The results for ComfyMind, shown as ours, are stunning. It hits a 100% pass rate across the board, completely avoiding errors, while its overall resolve rate is 83%, a massive leap from ComfyAgent's 32.5%. Alright, so we've established that ComfyMind is brilliant at building the workflows. But what about the quality of the images it actually generates? This next table answers that, using the general eval benchmark for text-to-image generation. And again, the results are impressive. ComfyMind, shown as ours, achieves an overall score of 0.90. That's the highest score here, beating out everything from powerful open models like SD3 to even the closed-source GPT image one. It also excels at specific tasks like counting objects and attribute binding, which means correctly linking a property, like a color, to the right object in the image. And looking at these qualitative examples, you can really see why it scored so well. Take the prompt for computer keyboards. ComfyMind, shown as ours, is the only one that actually generates 4 distinct keyboards. Or for a frisbee above a truck, it nails the spatial relationship, getting the position right. It also handles that complex attribute binding we mentioned, successfully creating a single, coherent scene with a brown oven and a purple train, where other models struggle. These visual results really back up the numbers, showing its superior ability to follow precise instructions. So ComfyMind is fantastic at generating images from scratch based on instructions. But how does it handle editing an image? That's exactly what this chart explores, using results from the Reason Edit benchmark. This benchmark tests how well a model can apply complex, reasoning-based edits to a picture. And the story here is very similar. ComfyMind, shown as ours, is a standout performer. It scores an impressive 0.906, which is the best score for any open-source tool by a huge margin, and it's right on the heels of the powerful, closed-source GPT model. Whether it's creating an image from a complex prompt or making a really specific, reasoned edit, ComfyMind consistently delivers. This work is so exciting because it pushes us toward more general-purpose AI tools. By combining that tree-based planning with reactive feedback, it's a system that can strategize and self-correct. It's a huge step forward for more reliable and capable generative models. That's all for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Alex.